The visible things are temporal, but the invisible things are eternal. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 18. Chosen, today we delve into the depths of the essence of the universe. From the macro to the microcosm, everything is in constant vibration, movement and transformation. Every atom in your body, every star in the sky, nothing is truly at rest. Let's explore the fundamental nature of the universe and how this knowledge can transform your perception and awaken your consciousness to new levels of understanding. Fundamental nature of the universe, the invisible in motion. The idea that the universe is in constant motion may seem abstract, but it is an undeniable truth. From the atoms that vibrate incessantly to the galaxies that dance through the cosmos, everything is in flux. Even when everything seems calm, a vast network of invisible forces is at work at all times. Whether it's the vibration of a subatomic particle or the energy that travels through the space between stars, everything is in constant motion, a symphony of vibrations that never stops. But let me ask you, now think about a moving car on the highway and now a stationary car. I bet when you thought of the moving car, you could only imagine it stationary, right? This is one of the great paradoxes of our perception. The human mind, limited in many aspects, has difficulty capturing movement in its entirety. What we see as static is actually in the process of change and transformation. We can only see fragments like stills from a paused film. However, real life is not a sequence of static images, but a continuous flow of energy that runs in all directions, even if our senses cannot capture everything. What if I told you that the true secret of reality lies in the things we can't see, but that still vibrate? Think of the air that surrounds us, invisible to our eyes but full of moving molecules carrying sounds, smells, and even subtle energies. Quantum physics reveals to us that at subatomic levels, the matter that we consider solid is, in fact, composed of vibrant particles, which interact in a vast field of possibilities. Now, reflect. If the very structure of the universe is vibrational, what does this tell us about the role that our own vibrations, thoughts, and emotions play in our lives? If everything is in motion, including us, our intentions and thoughts also move through this energy field. Just as a stone thrown into a lake generates waves that spread in all directions, our personal vibrations also impact the reality around us, albeit invisibly. This understanding leads us to a new perception that what we feel, think, and do is always in interaction with this cosmic energy network. What are you emitting into the universe right now? Ancient principles and modern science, the link between wisdom and physics. In ancient texts such as the mysterious Emerald Tablet, we find a powerful maxim, as above is as below. At first glance, it may seem like just a poetic phrase, but it contains a deep understanding about the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. This teaching reminds us that the macrocosm, the vast and distant universe, and the microcosm, microscopic life, and even our thoughts, follow the same principles. Everything is connected, reflected, and, above all, in constant vibrational movement. The ancients already knew that the universe operated based on patterns of vibration and resonance. They realized that there was an invisible harmony uniting all things, from the stars to the smallest particles. Many of these ideas were passed down in sacred and philosophical texts. Cultures around the world have recognized this principle in diverse forms, whether in Egyptian philosophy, Vedic knowledge, or other spiritual traditions. These cultures understood that external reality and the inner world are intimately linked by vibratory energies that constantly communicate with each other. Today, modern science is finally beginning to echo these ideas through advances in quantum theories. Scientists have discovered that ultimately everything that exists is made up of energy, vibrating at different frequencies. What was once just speculation has now become a scientific reality. The most fundamental particles in the universe are not solid, but energetic patterns in continuous movement. Matter, as we know it, is nothing more than a condensation of energy at lower frequencies. Chosen one, think about this for a moment. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This is a powerful statement from Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest geniuses of the modern era. He understood that the key to deciphering the deepest mysteries of the cosmos lay not in the study of matter alone, but in the study of the invisible energies that compose it. Now, I ask you, are we missing something by not seeing the world this way? We are so focused on technology, materialistic science, and external advancements that we may be moving away from a greater and older truth. Did the ancients, with their deep knowledge of vibrations and resonance, understand something we are still trying to rediscover? By analyzing modern science and ancient texts, we can see how these two streams of knowledge begin to meet at a common point. Both talk about the importance of energy, frequency, and vibration as the fundamental elements that make up reality. And if this is true, what does it tell us about the way we interact with the world and ourselves? How are the vibrations you emit daily shaping your reality? Human perception and consciousness, the great challenge. Our eyes, ears, and mind, despite being our main tools for navigating the physical world, are incredibly limited. They only capture a tiny fraction of the vast reality around us. Our senses are designed to perceive only that which is visible, tangible, and audible within certain limits. But what lies beyond that? The universe, full of energy and vibration, unfolds in dimensions and frequencies that escape our everyday perception. We are immersed in a vibrational field that affects our emotions, thoughts, and even our health, but most of us are blind to this invisible reality. For example, the sounds we can hear are only a small range of the vibrational spectrum. There are frequencies above and below this range that go unnoticed. Likewise, our eyes only see a narrow band of the electromagnetic spectrum, unable to perceive infrared or ultraviolet. This means that much of what exists around us, such as subtle energy fields, is simply not perceived by our senses. And it's not just a physical issue but also a matter of consciousness. Our minds, conditioned by repetitive thought patterns, often ignore the subtle movements and energies that influence our lives. For example, the vibration of a thought can be as powerful as the loudest sound, but we often ignore its impact. Likewise, an emotion is not just a passing feeling. It emits a vibration that directly affects our reality. What's stopping you from understanding emotion and dynamics? This is an essential question, chosen one, that challenges us to reflect on the internal barriers that keep us from true understanding of life. Are we so caught up in our daily routines that we fail to realize how much our own vibrations are shaping the world around us? Think about everyday situations in which you let negative thoughts dominate your mind. These vibrations, however small they may seem, are influencing your reality in ways you may not even realize. An angry thought, for example, is not limited to an internal state, but resonates around you, affecting the energy of everything you come into contact with. The same happens with emotions of fear, anxiety, and sadness. These thoughts and emotions create waves that, invisibly, reverberate in your life. Modern science is beginning to decipher the complexity of these dynamics, but the ancient masters already knew this truth millennia ago. What you vibrate internally manifests externally. If you emit a frequency of peace, harmony, and gratitude, your reality begins to shape around it. But if you vibrate fear, anger, or frustration, these states of being will also begin to manifest in your physical life. What are you vibrating right now? This is the great challenge of our perception, the difficulty of understanding that we are, above all, vibrational beings. Most of us are so focused on what we see, touch, and hear that we forget to pay attention to the subtle energies that shape our lives. We are used to associating reality only with what is material, tangible, when in fact, the invisible and vibrational are constantly influencing everything around us. Scientific studies on psychosomatics, for example, show how emotions can affect physical health. Negative thoughts and emotions, when maintained for long periods, can directly impact the body, generating illnesses and imbalances. On the other hand, positive mental and emotional states such as love and gratitude have the power to heal and regenerate. This shows that our mind and body are deeply connected to the vibrational universe. Think of a time when you felt completely calm and at peace. In this state, you were emitting a high frequency, which undoubtedly attracted harmonious situations and people into your life. Now, think about a day when you woke up irritated or stressed. Certainly, this state of being ended up attracting more frustration and challenges throughout the day. That's the power of vibration. It creates your reality whether you're aware of it or not. Spiritual masters throughout history have taught us that the key to transformation lies in elevating our consciousness. By raising our personal vibration, we also raise our perception and understanding of the universe. What seemed incomprehensible or unattainable before begins to make sense when we tune into higher frequencies of love, compassion, and gratitude. This is why meditations, spiritual practices, and states of presence are so powerful. They are not just forms of relaxation. They are ways to realign your personal vibration with universal energies. When we are present and in tune with the moment, the frequency we emit changes completely. We become more aware of the subtle movements around us, we perceive emotions on a deeper level, and we begin to interact with the universe in a more intentional way. Chosen, now I ask you one more question. How are the vibrations of your thoughts and emotions shaping your everyday life, even if you don't consciously realize it? It is an invitation to reflect so that you start paying attention to the energies you emit. Every moment, you are in a vibrational field, creating your reality based on what you think and feel. By becoming aware of this, you become able to change your vibration and thus completely transform your life. Therefore, the great challenge of our human perception and consciousness is to open our eyes to these invisible truths. Our reality is not just what we see with our physical senses. It is also the result of the energies and vibrations that we emit, often unconsciously. Chosen, what do you choose to vibrate today? Technological advances versus ancient wisdom. The price of progress. Science and technology have led us to impressive advances, from mapping the human genome to exploring space. However, have we, in our quest for knowledge, strayed from ancient wisdom? Many of the mysteries that we are still trying to unravel today were already studied by ancient civilizations. The pyramids of Egypt, for example, are a great enigma. Its architectural and energetic precision defies modern understanding. Did its builders have access to knowledge about vibration and energy that we still don't understand? How can we grow in consciousness and understand the powers that the ancients held? This is a question that resonates in the hearts of everyone who seeks a deeper understanding of the universe. Perhaps technological progress has distanced us from our own essence and blinded us to simpler and deeper truths. Practical examples and case studies, stories of vibration and consciousness. Let's explore some intriguing cases that illustrate the power of vibration and thought, showing how our reality can be influenced by these invisible but extremely powerful forces. One of the most impressive experiments in the field of vibrations was conducted by Japanese researcher Dr. Motor Vehicles, who studied the relationship between human thoughts and emotions and their influence on water. Dr. Emoto discovered that water reacts to the vibrations given off by words, music, prayers, and intentions. In his experiment, he exposed different water samples to positive words like love and gratitude, as well as negative words like hate and anger. When the water was frozen, the molecules in the samples exposed to the positive words formed beautiful geometric crystals, perfect in their symmetry. In contrast, samples exposed to negative words formed disorganized and deformed patterns. This demonstrates that water, an essential element for life, reacts directly to the vibrations emitted by thoughts and emotions. As the human body is made up of around 70% water, this leads us to reflect on the impact of our own internal vibrations. What are we emitting into the universe? And most importantly, how can resonant frequencies allow you to manipulate objects, people, and even your own health and well-being? Another fascinating example comes from the teachings of Sadhguru, a renowned spiritual master. He speaks often about the interconnectedness of all things in the universe and the power the mind has over reality. Sadhguru teaches that by raising our vibration and consciousness, we can shape our lives according to our deepest desires when we are vibrating at higher frequencies, those associated with joy, love, and gratitude. We become like magnets, attracting people, opportunities, and circumstances aligned with that frequency. He emphasizes that a person's internal state can literally influence the environment around them, as well as the results they experience in their life. But how can we apply this to our everyday lives? Imagine how changing your internal vibration could influence your relationships, your work, and even your health. Chosen one, how has your personal vibration shaped your reality thus far? And what would happen if you consciously decided to raise that vibration? Perhaps what's needed for you to manifest your greatest desires is simply to realign yourself with the correct frequency. Now let's move beyond personal and spiritual experiences. To the pyramids of Egypt, one of history's greatest mysteries, offer a fascinating example of how ancient knowledge about vibration and energy could be more advanced than we realize. For a long time, it was believed that the pyramids were just tombs for the pharaohs, but recent studies indicate that they may have been designed to channel and amplify energies in ways that modern science does not yet fully understand. Some researchers believe that the pyramids were built in strategic locations that resonate with the Earth's energy, and that their shape and alignment were not chosen at random. There are theories that suggest that the pyramids were capable of channeling sound vibrations or even cosmic energy, functioning as a kind of giant frequency amplifier. This would explain why many visitors report intense sensations upon entering these structures, feeling energized or at peace. Did ancient civilizations have knowledge about vibration and energy that we have lost over time? This type of speculation leads us to question the nature of our own technological advancement. Today we try to replicate many of these feats through science and technology, but we often run into limits. Modern technologies try to imitate this ancient knowledge, but often without the same degree of effectiveness or understanding. If the pyramids were built to channel energy, what else have we lost over the millennia? Another practical example of the power of vibrations comes from cymatic, the study of how sound waves affect matter. When sound is applied to surfaces covered in particles, such as sand or dust, incredible geometric patterns begin to form. These patterns are like fingerprints of the sound frequencies that create them, demonstrating that sound vibrations can organize matter precisely and consistently. This leads us to think, if sound can reorganize physical matter, what can the sound of our thoughts, emotions and words do to our bodies and our reality? Experiments in meditation schools and spiritual retreats also show the power of vibrational frequencies. In an environment of tranquility and high vibrations, many report profound physical and emotional healing. Somehow, the collective vibration of people in meditation, raising their internal frequency, creates a resonant field that can transform the energy of the entire environment. Chosen one, how could you create a positive resonant field around you? And finally, we cannot fail to mention the modern influences of positive thinking and law of attraction, which are gaining more and more prominence in today's society. The basis of these practices is simple: what you vibrate, you attract. If your thoughts and emotions are aligned with gratitude, love and abundance, these qualities begin to manifest in your life. These examples are just a small sample of the vast power that vibrations and consciousness have to shape our reality. What are you issuing now? What do you want to attract into your life? Personal and spiritual development. The path to heightened consciousness. Now, the big question, how can you apply all of this to your life, chosen one? The first step is to raise your own internal vibration. This may seem abstract, but in practice it involves changing the quality of your thoughts, emotions and intentions. Why do we have difficulty being alone with our thoughts? We often avoid silence because it confronts us with the truth about who we are. But it is precisely in silence, in introspection, that we can begin to raise our consciousness. When you learn to harmonize your mind and emotions, you tune into the highest frequencies of the universe. What are your personal triggers and what do they reveal about you? Identifying these issues is essential for your growth. Every time something upsets you, it is an opportunity to look deeper into your own internal vibrations and adjust them. And finally, how can you transcend these levels of consciousness on a daily basis? The practice of meditation, gratitude and conscious presence are the first steps. By doing this consistently, you will begin to notice how your external reality changes as your internal vibration rises. What we still don't see. We are just at the beginning of our journey to uncover the true nature of the universe. Although science and spirituality are beginning to converge, revealing truths that once seemed irreconcilable, there is still a vastness of hidden mysteries beyond the reach of human perception. What we see and understand now is only a tiny fraction of the greater reality. We know that the universe is vast, that everything vibrates and that energy flows incessantly, but the most disturbing question is, what haven't we realized yet? For millennia, spiritual traditions and ancient teachers have told us that there are worlds beyond the physical world, dimensions beyond those we can touch, smell, or see. They spoke of higher frequencies, planes of existence that coexist with ours, but that are beyond the reach of our five senses. However, with the awakening of a higher consciousness, new doors they can open up, revealing forces and energies that would completely transform our understanding of reality. Modern science, especially through quantum physics, already points us in this direction. Experiments that show that particles can behave differently depending on who observes them, or that something can be in two places at once, defy all known laws of time and space. There is an invisible interconnectivity that permeates the entire universe, a web of energy and information that unites all atoms, all stars, and all beings. But what lies beyond this perception? What energies, frequencies, or even beings exist in this vast universe, awaiting the moment when our consciousness expands enough to interact with them? The ancients knew that the mind is a powerful tool, capable of transcending the limits of the physical and exploring these subtler realities. They practiced meditation, visualization, and consciousness-raising techniques to tune into these higher frequencies. Many ancient texts speak of spiritual journeys, where the individual can access higher realms, where there is no time as we know it, where matter dissolves into pure energy and where the vibration of each thought can change the entire reality around it. And what can we do to access these dimensions? First, we must begin to recognize that we are not just physical beings. We are energetic beings, vibrating in harmony or disharmony with the universal vibrational field. The simple act of raise your consciousness, through practices like meditation, conscious breathing, or intentional gratitude, you can shift your internal frequency. When you begin to vibrate at higher frequencies, you become able to perceive realities and energies that were previously hidden from you. Chosen, think about this. If matter is just a condensation of energy and everything that exists is vibrational, then our own perceptions may be limited by the frequency at which we operate. Most people live life in a lower vibrational state, surrounded by material distractions, disordered emotions, and repetitive thoughts. But what if you raise your vibration? When we begin to tune into higher frequencies, we become receptive to information and experiences that may appear magical or supernatural to most. This is not magic but a forgotten spiritual science. Dormant powers can be activated, allowing us to influence the world around us in ways that previously seemed impossible. Heal the body, attract abundance, improve relationships, and above all, access deep inner wisdom that goes far beyond words. Have you ever heard of moments when intuition seems to scream inside you? Moments when an inner voice suggests what to do? This voice is not just a coincidence, but a manifestation of your ability to tap higher frequencies of knowledge. As you raise your consciousness, you begin to hear this voice more clearly, realizing that the universe is always communicating with you. The problem is that we are often so immersed in the distractions of the material world that we are unable to capture these subtle messages. When you start to see the world beyond the physical, you realize that everything around you is energy, a vibrational network that responds to your thoughts, feelings, and intentions. The world begins to unfold in a whole new way. Small signs that previously went unnoticed are beginning to become important guides. You begin to notice synchronicities, coincidences that are not just the work of chance, but evidence that the universe is responding to your vibrations. But there is more than that. Ancient civilizations such as the Egyptians and Mayans spoke of energetic portals, places on Earth where frequencies are higher, facilitating connection with higher dimensions. Sites such as the pyramids, Stonehenge, and Machu Picchu were built in areas strategically chosen for their energetic properties. These places may have been portals to access realities that, in our current vibration, are invisible. Perhaps by tuning into these energies, these people were able to perform feats that seem supernatural in the eyes of modern science. And what else don't we see yet? There is also the fascinating field of dark energy, dark matter, which make up more than 95% of the universe, but are invisible and undetectable to our current instruments. What is hidden in this enormous void that, paradoxically, contains almost everything? Scientists wonder if dark energy might hold the answers to questions we haven't even been able to ask yet. But what if this invisible energy is actually a manifestation of the same vibrational field that ancient spiritual texts speak of? As science advances, gradually discovering the secrets of the universe, we must remember that there are a limit to what our eyes and instruments can capture. What remains, moreover, is the conscience, the greatest portal to understand the invisible. Through the elevation of consciousness, we access these hidden realms, making what seemed impossible into something tangible and real. Chosen, now I ask you, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue to see the world only with your physical eyes, limiting yourself to what is immediately visible and tangible? Or will you begin to explore the vast vibrational network that permeates everything around you? Remember that you have the power to choose where you want to vibrate. The higher frequencies have always been accessible to those who seek them. By changing your vibration, you begin to shape a new reality, where the impossible becomes possible, and the invisible begins to be revealed. Share this message with someone you feel needs to hear it. And if this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel to explore more about these hidden truths of the universe. Together we can discover what we don't yet see.